Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel, and the baby daddy drama continues as Ripple is in the headlines again on the subject of a possible move outside of the United States, relocating the headquarters potentially, in this case, drum roll please, to Japan. How about that? So I'll be running through this story with you. This is a fun little fact of a perfect segue a little bit later into the video to this one. There's really regulatory clarity surrounding XRP in Mexico. How about that? How come every other freaking country on the planet can figure this out, but the United States basically has its head up its own rear end in terms of regulatory clarity? It doesn't know what it's doing here. Oh, Lord. And then, all these different branches of government want to, in theory, regulate it in different ways. And it's who is actually in charge? What is a cryptocurrency in the eyes of the government? Who the hell knows? I don't know. You don't know. The United States government doesn't know. But they know it exists. Before we go any further, if you would please ever so delicately tap the like button, I would definitely appreciate the support, because if you do, it will let the YouTube algorithm know that you don't completely hate this particular Moon Lambo content, and then the YouTube machine will perhaps recommend this video to more people than it otherwise would. I would definitely appreciate it. Also, go ahead and subscribe to the Moon Lambo channel. You ain't got nothing better to do with your time. Take my free content, damn it. And so this all started just a few weeks ago. Here was one of the first headlines that I came across on this topic. October 6, 2020 from Cointelegraph. Crushing regulations could drive Ripple out of U.S. And there's a quote here from Chris Larson. I believe Chris Larson is actually the first one to talk about this. He's co-founder of Ripple here, previously the CEO of Ripple as well. But here you can see Ripple is considering relocating to Europe or Asia amid growing frustration at the lack of regulatory clarity in the United States. So that was our first hint of perhaps where they may go, Europe or Asia. Speaking to Fortune magazine, Jeff John Roberts at the October 6th LA Blockchain Summit, Ripple co-founder Chris Larson said the United States was woefully behind in preparing for the cryptocurrency-based next generation of a global financial system, coupled with U.S. authorities' policy on regulation through enforcement, and Ripple may consider leaving the country behind entirely. And here's a quote from Chris Larson. "The message is blockchain and digital currencies are not welcome in the United States. You want to be in this business, you probably should be going somewhere else. To be honest with you, we're even looking at relocating our headquarters to a much more friendly jurisdiction." Right? And there's another quote. "I don't think that the posture of the SEC today can possibly get worse for the crypto and blockchain industry. It's just crush it and push away." And so that brings us to the latest update today. And this is a fun bit of speculation as to where Ripple's headquarters might go. And I tell you what, at this point, I don't think they're bluffing. I think that they're deadly serious about what they're talking about here in terms of moving. I don't know if it's going to happen, but it will not surprise me in the least if the headquarters of Ripple ends up moving outside of the United States. And so here's the piece from today. San Francisco-based blockchain company Ripple is moving forward with its plan to relocate its headquarters to another country because of regulatory hostility in the United States. In an October 21st Bloomberg interview, Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse has revealed that they've shortlisted Japan and Singapore as the two most likely destinations. Now, Japan seems to be the most obvious choice for Ripple, given that it is one of the biggest markets for the company. Ripple has a long-standing partnership with Japanese financial giant SBI Holdings that dates back to 2016. They formed a joint blockchain venture called SBI Ripple Asia, whose MoneyTap app went live in October 2018. And so, and Brad Garlinghouse indeed stated that. I'm not going to play the clip in this particular Moon Lambo video, but it's here on your screen right here. I watched it, and that is what he cited. And there's a quote here I'm going to read, though. But it kind of made me think, when he cited that that's a reason that they're considering moving to Japan, just the fact that SBI is there, I'm like, huh. What will the closer geographic location do in terms of improving business? Why does that? I guess I don't I don't know. I can see them why they'd want to get out of the country and why Japan could make sense. I mean, Ripple CEO Brett Garlinghouse made that part pretty clear. But why does it matter if that particular client also happens to be in Japan? Like, what functionally about their relationship would change that would improve purely from relocating the headquarters? That part I don't understand. But nonetheless, here's the quote. Japan has been one of our strongest markets. We have a very successful partnership there with a group called SBI. They're actually our largest outside investor, and the CEO, Katao-san, he's talking about Yoshitaka Katao, of course, has been an innovator and pioneer in a lot of things around finance and technology of fintech. And so Ripple is already having discussions with SBI about moving to the land of the rising sun, according to Garlinghouse, and here's another quote. I have spoken to the SBI team about the fact we are looking at the country as a potential destination. And so one of the reasons additionally that Brad Garlinghouse cited was the regulatory clarity that came about in 2017 in Japan. Citing just the taxonomy and how there's no question marks surrounding it, basically. They'll be able, from Brad Garlinghouse's perspective, should they move to Japan, they're not going to have any of the headaches that they have while they're hanging out here in their headquarters in the good old United States. So there was that. And where else could they move? Well, there are other places, and of course they did cite here. The UK has been rather friendly towards crypto, and specifically XRP. I wouldn't be surprised if that one came to pass as well, because the Financial Conduct Authority in the UK, they cited that XRP is a utility token, so clearly not a security. And there's additional clarity that my understanding is just in a general sense around cryptocurrencies as an asset class. And there was also a separate interview I watched maybe a week or so ago, and Brad Garlinghouse was interviewing Mike Arrington, the founder of TechCrunch and founder of Arrington XRP Capital, and he said, he was just like, please, Brad, for the love of God, just if you're going to move, just don't move to China. Just don't do it. And I kind of got a kick out of the way that he was presenting it there. So Brad Garlinghouse didn't let anything out there. So but I'm going to go ahead and guess that it's not going to be China. That would just be my for fun guess right there. Especially if you think about the way that Brad Garlinghouse and Chris Larson have talked about how the status of blockchain and Ethereum in the eyes of the United States government is actually benefiting China right now. And so it doesn't seem to me that they'd want to go there for any reasonable reason. I can't imagine that actually happening here. That's other possible destinations. They have this is here. So Ripple also has strong presence in Singapore, where it opened a new office in November 2019 to focus on its expansion in the Asia-Pacific region. The UK, Switzerland, and the United Arab Emirates are also on the list of possible destinations. While the UAE might seem like an unorthodox option, it is worth noting that Ripple has been making great inroads in the MENA region over the past few years. Well, if I had to guess, since I do think they're serious about moving here, I don't think that the United States government is going to get regulatory clarity to the point where it would need to be soon enough for Ripple to be like, okay, yeah, we'll hang out here. I don't know. I guess the more I think about it, the more I'm kind of, if I just had to guess for fun, I guess the way everything is right now, and things are always subject to change, of course, but I guess if I had to guess, I guess I'd bet I'm like a little over 50% confident that they'd move, because I don't see that clarity coming, and I do believe them when they're expressing just how important that is to them. All right, shout out to XRP Yoda, who sent this to my inbox here as a tweet that he put out just a little bit earlier today. And it was a link to the latest edition of Ripple's podcast called Blackstars, which is hosted by Ripple CTO, co-creator of the XRP ledger, none other than David Schwartz. And I admittedly have not had a chance to listen to this whole thing, but XRP Yoda did put a timestamp in his tweet here for a rather pertinent part here. And here you can see hashtag XRP has regulation in Mexico. Timestamp 17 minutes from the horse's mouth at Bitso, which of course is the Mexican cryptocurrency exchange. I'm not following them. Now I am. There we go. Kind of surprised. Anyway, so Bitso, they're officially partnered with Ripple as an on-demand liquidity provider. utilizing XRP as a bridge currency. That's the most notable and successful corridor of on-demand liquidity in existence as I sit here in October of 2020. And you can see, and so it was an interview with Daniel Vogel, the CEO of Bitso. And so he was citing just how very recently they have achieved regulatory clarity. And I wasn't, admittedly, I'm not like up to date on the politically what's happening in terms of crypto regulation in Mexico. So I'll just go ahead and take him at his word. It happened recently, and now they can pretty much operate without any sort of fear of retribution from their government. So that's cool stuff. Awesome stuff. Does that mean Ripple's going to move to Mexico? I don't know. They haven't talked about it. It seems like they're going to be moving overseas if they're going to be moving. That would be my guess here. But anyway, and so then they started to get into it. I only listened to like a few minutes of it, so I'll have time tomorrow probably to go through and listen to this. If there's anything else that jumps out at me, I'll share it with you. But other than that, they're just kind of talking about the struggles of that what they call like the last mile of completing remittance transactions, because the local rails, they all work differently around the planet. And that's, the last mile there, effectively not utilizing XRP, because XRP is just the bridge portion of this. Don't forget that. So once XRP goes from one exchange to the destination exchange, Bitso in Mexico, then that would be sold, and this is all automated, of course, via Ripple's automated path-seeking efficient algorithm, which is on-demand liquidity, and then that money goes to the bank. But those are local rails at that point, not utilizing a cryptocurrency. And so that's the part where, like, okay, we say, quote unquote, like, the transactions happen in real time, and that's effectively as real time as it's going to freaking get. The XRP portion of the transaction, yeah, you're talking 3 to 5 seconds, because that's how fast the blockchain is. As long as we don't get too much above 1,500 transactions per second, because on-chain right now, that's all that the ledger can handle. So you would need scaling solutions beyond that. But yeah, the rest of it, unfortunately, takes a little bit more time. But the rails, he was saying this, and I'd heard this before, but Daniel Vogel was like, hey, honestly, the local rails in Mexico, they're like world class, super blazing fast. So it doesn't really take that long. So it's just kind of neat to think that, with this updated version of the legacy financial system, thanks to what Ripple is doing to like gut it in midair, you still have effectively real-time payments and settlement in a matter of whether it's a minute or whatever it ends up being, including the local rails, one or 2 minutes. It's effectively real time. I mean, it's blazing fast. It's not what it was with the Swift system, obviously. But anyway, that's it for this one. Thank you very much for stopping by, my friends. I am not a financial advisor. Do not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo!